Hello students, welcome back to my channel Tech Teacher Shruti. In last class we have seen about JPanel and JLabel and how to display image on a JLabel by using a image icon class. In this video we are going to see about JTextField component. JTextField is a text component that allows the editing of a single line of text and it inherits the JText component class. There are two methods we are used with the JTextField class. First one is a getText, the second one is a setText, and it is taking a argument string message. Whatever message we will pass here now, that message will set to JTextField. Okay, and if we already set a text, to get that text we are using a getText method. These are the constructors we have used with the JTextField. Okay, these are the constructors, possible constructors with the JTextField. The first one is a JTextField with a no argument. It creates the just new text field. Next, JTextField string text. It creates the new text field with a specified string of text. Okay, next JTextField string text int columns. Okay, it creates the new text field with a specified text and specified number of columns. Specified number of columns means size of that text field. Suppose I am taking a 10 columns means up to 10 columns the text field size will be there. Next is just we are mentioning a size of text field. JTextField int columns. It creates the new empty text field with the specified number of columns. These are the possible constructors with the JTextField class. We will see one example how to use this text field. You will see that in Eclipse. See here, this is the program. First we are importing a java.awt.star package. Why? Because we are using a Flavour manager here, and we are importing a javax.swing.star package. Why? Because we are using a JApplet and JTextField, which are already defined in a javax.swing.star package. As we are writing a applet code, we are writing a HTML applet code in this comment line. Okay, in code part, whatever class name we will pass now, when I will execute this applet program, that class will pass by the applet viewer, and we are specifying the height and width for that applet viewer. Next, I am writing a class demo JTextF, and which is extending a JApplet. Okay, in Swing, if we are want to write a applet programs, we need to extend a JApplet. Next, I am initializing a JTextField. Okay, I am taking a reference variable, that is JT. Next, I am writing init method. In that init method, I am calling makeGUI method. Next, I am writing the makeGUI method here. First, I am setting a layout manager to flow layout manager. Next, I am setting a text for a JText field with the size. Okay, I am creating a new text field with the specified text and the size. Okay, it is taking text as a Java and size as 15 columns. It will create the text field with the Java text. Next, I am adding that JText field to content pane of the applet viewer. Next, first I will comment these, then I will execute and show. Just I am created one JText field here, and I am adding that text field to applet viewer, content pane of the applet viewer. Now I will execute and show this. See here, this is our output. I am specifying the Java as a text and 15 columns as a size of a text field. So it is specifying a Java here. Okay, Now we will see these two lines. Okay, get text and set text. Okay, string message gt dot get text. Okay, means here in text field whatever text we are setting, no, that text we can get here by using a get text method. Okay, I will execute now. This is our applet viewer. See here, whatever text we have set now, that it is printing on the console. Why? Because we are using a system.out.println here. Okay, here I will just pass size here. Okay, next I will declare another string variable message1. Okay, message1 equal to jt dot set text. Sorry, just I am setting a text field text to Java. Now we will see the output. See here, it is printing Java here. Here while creating the text field, just we are mentioning the column size of for that text field. Next I am setting the text for the text field. Okay, this is how we will use JText field component in a Swing. Next we will see Swing buttons. Okay, in a Swing there are 4 types of Swing buttons. The first one is J button, J radio button, J checkbox, J toggle button. These all are the subclasses of a abstract button class which extends the J component class. See here, this is the Swing button hierarchy. The superclass for all the buttons is a J component and abstract button, okay, which extends the J component. And for this J button and J toggle button, this is the superclass. Abstract button is the superclass for these 2 classes, J button and J toggle button. And J toggle button is the base class for J checkbox and J radio button. This is the how Swing button hierarchy will look like. Next we will see about J button component. Okay, J button component provides the functionality of a button, and this J button is a Swing equivalent of a button in a AWT. Okay, whatever the component, button component we will use in AWT now, the same component we will use in a Swing, which is called as a J button. When button is pushed or clicked, application results in some action. Okay, already we have seen about button click event, right? At that time action event is generated. Like that, when we will push or click on a J button, some action will happen in the background. Next we will see these 3 constructor of this J button class. Okay, the first constructor is a J button with the empty arguments. It means it creates a button with the no text. Okay, J button string S, it creates the button with a specified string name. Okay, suppose I am passing a hello here, it means it on the button it will print a hello. Next, J button icon I. Already we have seen this icon with a label. means it creates the button with a specified icon object. It means whatever image we will pass now, that image it will display on that J button. We can obtain the action command by calling the get action command on the event object. Okay, and it is declared like this: string get action command. Okay, already I have told when I will click on a or when I will push a button, some action is generated. It means the action event is generated. When button is pressed, an action event is generated, and using this action event object passed to the action performed method of the registered action listener, you can obtain the action command string associated with that. Okay, when action event is generated using action event object which is passed to the action performed method. Already we have seen this in a first unit. Okay, by using that object, action listener can give the action command string associated with that button. To get that action command, we will use this method, string get action command. Okay, action command is just a string that serves to identify the component that sent to the event. It means, suppose, see here, this is also one button, but icon is there, means India flag is displaying here. Okay, when I will click on this button, it will send a action command, means the name of this button, whatever name, whatever action for this button we have given, we have set that action command it will return, so that we can easily identify we have clicked only this button. Okay, see here in this example there are 3 buttons are there, button A, button B, button C. Okay, these are the strings labeled on that button. Okay, we can use this as a action command for these buttons. Okay, when I will click on a button A, it will return a action command as button A, so that we can easily identify I have clicked on a button A and the button A is generating a event. Okay, you can obtain this action command by calling the get action command on a event object. Okay, here we are specifying the names of the buttons, button A, button B, button C. Okay, see here only image is there. Okay, at that time we need to set some action command for that, so that we can easily identify we have clicked on the Indian flag button. For that, setting a action command, we will use this method, set action command string command, means we can pass the command here. Okay, when we will get this command, we can easily identify on which button we have clicked based on that command. So, action command identifies the button. Thus, when using the 2 or more buttons within the same application, the action command gives you an easy way to determine the which button was pressed. Okay, when we are using a more than one button. Okay, in our application we can use multiple buttons. Okay, at that time it is very helpful. And if no action command is set for that button, it means it will returns the button labels. See here, these are the button A, button B, button C. What we are seeing now, those are the labels of that button. Okay, if no action command is set, means by default it will set that label as a action command in the J button. Thank you.